Okay, and here we are on the Get Foxy show. Miss Andi LaBrune, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor. So
Well,
much.
I'm excited to have you. Since we met, we ended up meeting through John Block's speaker venture training, which helps folks become better public speakers.
Mhm.
And getting to know you there, I said, dang, I have got to get you on the Get Foxy show. So I really appreciate you being here.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
So if you wouldn't mind, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about how you got into the work that you're doing.
Okay, so it actually started, the beginning started about um, 2003. So it was a long marathon of 10 years to get to where I am right now. So I'm a mom of 9 kids and married to the same guy. And we have this little homestead. We have chickens. We have a couple ducks even running around. Yeah, I'm into food. I love food. So having fresh farm eggs is like a 10
Oh,
for me.
I hear you there. There's nothing that beats fresh farm eggs.
I mean, life is really great. Even though I have 9 kids, I find life is really just really relaxed. I don't get stressed a whole lot. If I do get stressed, it's just because we're trying to decide which restaurant to eat at. That's our life pretty much. It's a big fun game. I guess that's how I see it.
That's
Life is
amazing.
so. But back in 2006, when we had, let's see, I had 4 kids at the time. The last thing I wanted to do was actually be a mom. My reality was in Days of Our Lives. I don't know if any of your listeners can relate, but Days of Our Lives, I was the embodiment of Days of Our Lives. I would snap at the kids if they like got in the way of the TV, someone was talking and they asked me a question. I was a hot mess as a mom. And I realized, wow, I really didn't like my kids. I felt that they were burdens. And I was like, what's going on with me? I was a young mom. I hadn't really discovered who I was yet. And then here are these children. I have this husband who is kind of there, not really. We were starting to get through some really, really crappy stuff. And so Terry, I had a couple choices. I could live in this Days of Our Lives world where there was all this drama, not appreciating the little human beings that I had brought into this world, and a husband who was off doing who knows what. So I could, what I was contemplating, suicide was one, or I could change my circumstances.
Hmm.
So I decided to change my circumstances. And so I got out of Andy's face. Andy's face was all like, me. What's not working for me? And I went and started to serve at my local church, actually. Terry, guess where they put me?
Where did they put you?
With kids. I kid you not. I was like, you don't understand.
Oh,
I'm having a hard time accepting my own, and you're going to put me with a bunch of other strangers' kids, right?
oh.
Okay, so I was going to play this out. I was like, okay. If I don't kill them. So actually, it ended up being one of the amazing experiences of my life. After about a month or so of working with these kids, one little girl ran up to me. She grabbed my leg and says, "Thank you so much, Coach Andi. I had so much fun. I love you." So I was in charge of games.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they called me Coach Andi, because I was running the games. And Terry, my heart melted right in my belly. It broke whatever barriers I was still holding on to. And I went home and I just remember looking at my kids like, they are amazing. I have such amazing kids. started to love on them more. I loved them so much, I pulled them out of the crappy school they were in, started to homeschool them because I wanted to spend more time with them. I really wanted to serve them. And when it came to the marriage part, I decided I don't want a crappy, cruddy, roommate type of marriage. So I made a choice. I'm going to make it better. I'm going to change me. I'm going to serve him more. I'm not going to be keeping score anymore of, oh, he's only doing 20% when I gave 80%. It was just, I'm just giving what I can that day in that present moment. And so I deliberately made these choices to take care of me. I needed to take care of Andi. I needed to find out, what did Andi like and not like? Just because I had kids didn't mean I had to put that on the back burner. That was a hard lesson to learn. And it took, like I said, a span of 10 years to do all of this. And so now I'm like, so obviously the marriage got better because we popped out 5 more kids. And I am just driven to tell moms and just women out there, if you're a mom, you're a parent, you don't have to lose yourself because of your circumstances. That is my biggest mission and message out there is like, you have choices to make. Just because we in the circumstance of life sucks, well, great, life sucks. I'm still going to make myself an amazing omelet and enjoy it. There's those little pleasures when things aren't going your way that you can still, I guess, gain some energy from to keep moving forward. And so that's what I'm out to do, is mainly working with mompreneurs to let them know that you have the time you need to create. Doesn't matter your circumstances, you're single mom or mom who's married who does have help. You can create time to do what you need to get done because you need to do it. You want to do it for yourself, for your family, whatever the purpose may be. Everyone has their why. And like me, I still get things done and living what I want to do, even though it seems like I have a baby attached to my boob 24/7. That's just the life of moms, right? That's where I'm coming from and why I love what I do.
Well, I'll tell you. Now, this is an audio show. We do record the video for the listeners if you want to check out the Get Foxy Show's YouTube channel. But I see Andi, and I would have never guessed you were the mother of 9 children. It just flat doesn't show. So I'm sitting there going, how is this woman doing this? How is she making this happen? How are you making this happen, Andi?
So, like I said, making the choices. So when I started bringing my kids home and working with them in homeschooling, I told them flat out, and Terry, this is where you come in. I was a little vain, actually. Maybe I still am. But I was in the health and wellness field and kind of getting more into alternative health. And I told kids, guess what I learned? Stress causes wrinkles. So in order for mom not to get wrinkles, you can't stress me out. So little things, if things started to get to me, I called them on it. I called myself on it, because I'm part of it. It takes 2, right? Mm-hmm. It can't be just all them. After all, I'm raising them. So there's some reflection there of myself if they're acting up and causing me stress. So I made, first I told them, basically telling what I needed. I needed them not to stress me out. And of course, many other levels other than just the wanting to look fabulous. But, and that was a non-negotiable for me, to really keep my stress levels low, because I had already gone through such a heightened level of stress with the marriage, with the turmoil of fighting myself with, oh my gosh, I should love my kids, but I really don't feel it. So I was starting to get sick, like physically sick. And that wasn't going to sit well with me because I knew better.
Gotcha. So. Well, I'm curious, when you're not chasing children or coaching women
Mm-hmm.
and raising chickens, what do you do for fun?
So what do I do for fun? I love, one of my passions that I discovered that actually got me out of my hole of despair was Zumba fitness. So for fun, after I attended my first Zumba class, because I'd grown up in fitness, my brother is a huge, like, just think of this little girl who has an older brother, right? And every day he's telling her, it seemed like it to me anyway, don't you ever get fat. Don't you ever get fat. And he's telling me, pinching my little arms, where are your muscles at? So I'm getting teased by my older brother. Maybe that's a negative thing. I don't know. It seems to be working. I'm fine. So I've grown up loving being in the gym, just taking care of myself. And I also grew up since I was 3 dancing. So I was in dance class through my parents and through my brother's nagging, stay fit, stay strong. Zumba fitness came out, and that was the marriage of dance fitness, pretty much to me. And after I attended my first class and I saw the instructor and I said, I want to be her. And so my passion, dance and fitness, I was like, now I can share that because I have all this love and enthusiasm with other women who don't feel like, I don't want to exercise. I don't want to work out. It's not fun. I get it. Picking up heavy things over and over again really isn't that fun. So my passion is Zumba fitness. So I became a Zumba instructor. And that's the thing that constantly keeps me going, realizing, I get to go out and look at the other faces of women smiling back at me. Even though they're dripping in sweat, I'm making them do killer squats. And they're having fun. So that is my fun time, my getaway. That's my adult time. That's what really keeps me alive and vibrant and going.
Man, that is, in my opinion, that is Foxy right there.
Oh, thank you.
But what does Foxy mean to Coach Andi?
So
what does it mean to you?
To me, yes. So to me, I think of being Foxy means I am completely comfortable in my own skin and in my body. Because if I feel that way, I'm looking that way to others from the outside. Like, I noticed when I started accepting myself, my body, my skin, even my flaws, I became so much more attractive to my husband. Just that inner confidence. He was looking at me differently, doing silly things with me differently. And I was like, what changed? He didn't really know what it was. And I realized I finally became comfortable in my body. Because for a long time after having these kids, my body changed. And that was not easy to accept. And so I was kind of reserved being, intimate. But then once I was like, woo! I just feel so amazing. I look great. I can wear the outfits I want to wear. He noticed. And he noticed in a wonderful, wonderful and loving way. And so to me, getting Foxy is, you got to be comfortable in your own skin, how you are in the present moment. Not where you want to be after, if I go to the gym for 3 months, then I will be. I think it should be from day 1 to day 90, the whole journey through. Because people feel that energy. They really do feel that foxiness from you.
You bet they do. You bet they do. I'm curious to know who you think in the world right now, who embodies foxiness?
Oh, that is a good question. Okay. The first person who popped up to my mind was Scarlett Johansson. I think she carries herself very well. I feel like she is a very curvaceous woman. She's fit, and when she walks, I just see that little little twist.
I hear you there.
her. Beyonce does a great job as well. Are we talking just women, or are we talking about men too?
You can talk about men too. That's perfectly fine.
I was like, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Uh-huh.
He's another one. Gosh, there are so many. I think of Jada Pinkett Smith. She's definitely another one. Angela Bassett. Who's that singer? She won American Idol.
Oh boy, I don't know American Idol very well. I'm not much help.
I mean, I loved how it seemed like I love her because, gosh, if I think of her name, I can't think of her name, but
it'll come to you.
At first she was kind of a more heavy-set girl, but she was still comfortable in her body. And then she got fit, I think, just to be more healthy. She's still comfortable in her body. So I love that transition. Wherever she was, she still loved her body and dressed appropriately and felt, like you say, Foxy. She strutted it. She wore it well. And people knew that, and they still accepted her as she was.
I gotta figure out how we can kind of put your coaching together with foxiness, because this is the Get Foxy show. So I'd like to know, how does what you do help bring out the foxiness in your coaching clients?
So I'm glad you asked that, because when I work with my clients, especially moms, they do have a body image issue because our bodies have changed. And a lot of moms, even though it's been 4 or 5 years since they've had their last child, they're still saying, I'm still carrying the baby weight, or I should be or should have lost that baby weight. They're not comfortable where they're at right now. And some of their relationships are suffering because of that. And working with moms, especially moms in business, if there is even that little bit of uncomfortableness you have in yourself, your future customers and clients will sense that. There's some things not completely in alignment. And that's where you may get some pushback with when you're trying to offer a product or service, pushback from the husband or any relationships, and even your kids, because you're trying to avoid it. When you try to avoid it, there's always that underlying issue. And so I help moms, let's address this. What are you totally not accepting right now? Okay, I'm not accepting my body because I haven't lost the pre-baby weight. And I'm like, the baby is 7 years old. Now it's just your body. The baby's done and gone, next to you now, out of your body. So let's accept your body how it is, because now it's the quote-unquote mom bod. And we can learn I use a technique to help them accept where they're at right now, and then give them the tools and resources they need to get to where they want to be. But the very important thing is they have to accept where they are right now so they can actually get to where they want to be. Otherwise, that's when you get the quote-unquote yo-yo dieting, the back and forth, because there's a mindset issue there. Some unresolved issues.
Yeah, that's huge. That's really big stuff right there. When you can get to a point where you're accepting yourself as you are in the moment, and still, I am good with myself. I love myself. I love who I see in the mirror. Even if it's not my ideal image, I still love that person. And man, when you can get to that, boy, that's really when magic things happen.
Oh yeah, a lot of magic happens. And I love getting women to that point because they feel so much more free. They feel so much more inhibited, and they're just like, and because we are all judged in some form or fashion, and so when they feel that, they're able to pretty much act like Teflon, slides right off of them. Nothing sticks.
Nice. Well, if Foxy is being comfortable in your body, loving yourself and just owning it, what's the one piece of advice you could give my listening tribe, the Vulpanistas?
Okay.
What's the one piece of advice you could give them about how to be comfortable in your body?
So how to be comfortable in your body. So this is what I would suggest doing. It's a little practice. So if your viewers are willing, this is kind of a huge step, but it's a really easy one. And to start the foxiness in you, I would say stand nude in front of a mirror and start with the top of your head, go all the way down to the bottom of your feet, and say one positive thing about each body part that you are intentionally looking at and deciding to love. So for example, you start with your hair. Maybe it's the color. I love the color of my brown hair. Even if it was dyed, you got it done, say, I love what the stylist did with the color in my hair. Okay. Then you go to your eyebrows. I like the shape of my eyebrows because I can change the shape any way I want to. And then you go to your eyes. I love how my eyes can look at my children and see them, day in and day out if they still live at home. You go to your nose. I love how my nose can smell the food that I'm cooking and makes it taste amazing. So you go through. So say you get to a part, however, that you don't like. So for me, my personal body I didn't like was my midsection, because with all these babies, my skin didn't like to stretch out to hold them. So I have what I now call my the battle scars, or I just call them my battle scars. Because labor's hard.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
So I have, my stretch marks, and I look at my stretch marks, and I remember saying through an African tribe where the women were actually felt sorry for the women who did not have stretch marks, because it proved that they never bore a child. To them, that was their belief, and they felt sorry for them. Oh man, you never carried a child, you never gave birth. And to me, that was really powerful. I'm like, well, dang, I should be queen of the tribe. And so what if I never wear a bikini again? What matters is that I have accepted them, and I look at them and I'm like, wow, my body carried 9 children. Thank you for my belly that carried those 9 children. That's how I see my belly. And so, and then you just go down. So if you see areas that you don't like, be like, wow, look at my thighs. They're so strong to carry me up and down the stairs where I have to go without fail. Things like that. If women feel like, oh man, I got these thunder thighs. Girl, those are powerful thighs.
Amen to that.
And just go down and touch on the points and look at your body. Start to look at it in a new way that it's so powerful for you. It is functioning for you. And just to take a moment and to appreciate it and start to feel that appreciation, and then let your body be like, yeah, I'm Foxy. See, you just need to look at me for a moment and let me show you. So if they can do that, I would say go for it and just watch what happens. Just changing the mindset.
Wow. That is powerful. So simple, but that is amazingly powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Andi.
You're so welcome.
So how can people get a hold of you if they'd like to get some coaching from Coach Andi?
All right. So you can contact me on my website. It's www.iamcoachandi.com. And you can also find me if you are a mom in business and you like just some help, connect with the community. On Facebook, it's the Awesome Sauce Mompreneur. We're real, raw, and delicious because I don't hold back very much, as you can tell. really raw and real because that's life. Life happens and we live it anyways. So you can also connect with me there because I'm pretty active in that group. If you want to ask questions and just get an inside look at how I operate as a mom and with a business. But I also have a free guide on that website too, IamCoachAndi.com. You can also grab that and we'd also be in touch.
Okay, well, I'll put all the links for those in the show notes on the website so people can access those.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. And it looks like that's about all the time we've got for the Get Foxy show at this moment. So, Coach Andi, thank you so much for being available and being here. It was certainly a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you, Terry. It's been amazing meeting you. I'm so glad we connected. Thank you for what you're doing.
You're very welcome.